Do it live.
So you guys are telling me to push the clip first. I'll figure it out.
I feel like that was the wrong clip intro.
Oh, yeah.
Hell no one.
And
That was my original alt.
welcome to Sports Bukkake. I'm your host, Jackie Moon, and today we're going to talk about some white stuff on the three-point line. Yeah, the three-point line. Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Clickbait Sports. I will be your host for today. My name is Scooter Magruder, and I am joined by four beautiful creatures, beginning with the beautiful Tom Grassi, pictured in a Minnesota Viking. Can we get some W's in chat for Tom looking amazing in that
Honestly,
jersey? Tom, what do you want to say?
I thought I would feel bad about it, but I feel like this is community service because this is the first time there's been a real quarterback in a Vikings uniform. So
Wow.
I'm okay with it.
So you ignore Warren Moon, Randall Cunningham, Brett Favre, all the former Packers.
Fran Tarkenton.
Yes,
Come on.
Fran Tarkenton.
Yes,
Tommy Kramer.
I ignore.
No love for Tommy Kramer?
Yep, nope. Because that's what they got, a big old goose egg when it came to Super Bowls. That's it. That's why Dan Marino had to do Ace Ventura for money because he didn't win a Super Bowl.
Wow.
That's the story. So
Moving on from Tom, we have the luscious locks emanating from Brandon Perna. That good sports. Welcome to Clickbait Sports. How's it going, brother?
Could be better if I didn't look like an idiot. I lost like Tom the week before the Patreon super chats. I mean, just the super chats, and I had to buy this Patrick Mahomes headpiece, which I didn't even know existed. I didn't even know how to search for it, but I was just like Mahomes hair head hat, Amazon, boom, 20 of them pop up. I'm like, oh shoot, okay. So yeah, here I am, Patrick Mahomes' biggest supporter. I mean, I am Mahomes.
Dude, you roll it really well. That's all I'm going to say, man.
It comes together well. Chat, let him know. Scale of 10.
You dye the beard a light brown? You rock that well.
You could do it. Chat, what are we giving that? Scale of 10.
You look like Philip Lindsay a little bit.
I looked down at my crotch earlier, and there's just a big chunk of this Mahomes hair just sitting. I was like, "Oh wow, this stuff falls out pretty easy."
and that's what brought in Manscaped.
Yeah,
No, that is our
he
cue
doesn't
to
need
move on.
Manscaped. He needs keeps.
That is definitely our cue to move on. We're going to move on from hair to no hair. Scooter McJr. in the building, a.k.a. 5 Points. Welcome to Clickbait. How's it going, 5 Points? Adam?
I'm not being punished. I just wanted to dress up as Scooter today. I don't know.
Okay.
Chat. I'm imitating Scooter. Chat. What do you think about this outfit right here? Chat. Come on.
Is it like, are we?
1 if the outfit is fire, press 2 if it's whack. Chat.
Dude, you look like you're about to do some yard work, like high-intensity yard work on a couple yards.
High-intensity yard work. Yeah.
Yeah, you're taking out the
to-
hedge trimmer. You're taking out the weed whacker. You're taking out the heavy-duty steel, gas-powered.
Nah, this outfit here is for drinking. This is a drinking outfit.
That's not drinking. That's gym.
You
This
look
is like-
you look about as put together as the Cowboys defense. So like I appreciate
Bro,
you
it's
not
too
putting it
early.
there,
It's
so
too early
I
for this
appreciate
song.
that.
It is too early for this.
No,
We're
it's
going to
not
get into
too
that,
early.
though.
It's never too
But
early.
before we get into that,
Other
there was
teams'
someone
offenses are going to get
here.
into that end zone too, because
there was someone here who was not here last week.
Yeah.
Bringing back the stalwart of the show, Urinating Tree. Welcome back. We missed you, brother.
Oh,
Big
thanks,
guy.
brother. It was a good
Fun.
week off. I didn't have to deal with anything. I was working with some stuff. I also got this neat little shirt. It says Fenway on it, so I may be converting to the dark side.
Wow.
Save me, please.
Wow.
I'll have to write something down.
Same
Here,
shirt.
give me $500, please. Sincerely, blah, 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 blah. There you go.
Well, now that we're done with introductions, let's get into what we're going to be doing today. Every week before the show, we have a 3 to 4 hour production meeting, and we go over what exactly we're going to be getting into every episode. This episode, we came up with something around the lines of NBA playoffs. I don't know if you guys saw the game yesterday, okay, but LeBron went a little bit ham, okay? And so let's just open the floor for anyone in the audience, for any one of you four who witnessed it. What did you see? What are you thinking? Does this elevate LeBron in your mind? Was this one of the best basketball games you've ever seen in your life? The floor is open. Who would like to go first?
I'll take this because I watched the majority of the game last night. Didn't watch it all. I got a little tired. You know, sometimes you eat too much pasta and you get hit with a food coma and you check out. But my friend texted me. He said right before the game, he said, Lakers or Warriors, I'm putting a grip on the Warriors at plus 5.5. And I was like, yeah, I think the Lakers will win. I think that the Warriors will cover, but the Lakers will win. And in my text, I put because the league is rigged. Okay. That's what I said. The league is rigged.
It'll be rigged if the Warriors beat Memphis and the Warriors and the Lakers both win their first round series.
Right. But Warriors just come out balling. Okay. Steph Curry, Schwagum from everywhere. And I was like,
Schwagum? Oh, I'm about to add that to my repertoire.
He was smiggity smacking it all over the place. Just
so hard.
A little head fake.
And that first one to find me.
And I was like, and that's why I went to sleep. I was like, all right, this game's got the Warriors are the better team. They got the MVP, Steph Curry, but then I forgot about LeBron and AD.
Giannis
and what's the little dude on the Lakers though? He was playing kind of trash.
Is that Caruso? Is it
bro? So David if you didn't watch, so if you didn't watch the game last night, Adam did a great job breaking it down. But basically, what happened was the whole game, the Warriors looked like they were in control. Mm-hmm. Literally the whole game. Third quarter comes around, Lakers make a bit of a push. Fourth quarter comes around, it's back and forth. Literally, it's tied in the last seconds. It comes down to the wire. LeBron gets the ball. What is the word? Schwagums it from literally Steph Curry land. Steph even glances at him and he's like, bro, you ain't mean to do that. Were your eyes open? And everyone is talking about that shot, that long 3-footer that sealed the deal.
3-footer, yeah.
3-footer.
There was a minute left in the game though. It wasn't no buzzer beater though. It was like
it wasn't a buzzer beater, but it is the catalyst for that game. That was the reason the Lakers won. He sealed the deal with that 3-pointer.
I have several questions.
Yes, go ahead. We'll start with the questions first.
First question: How many fouls did Anthony Davis get that were not worthy of being called?
Oh, so that's the thing. The whole first half, Anthony Davis was clamped. I'm talking about he couldn't do anything. LeBron, first half, could not do anything. Dennis Schroeder, first half, could not do anything. They were on an island and no one was coming for them. The clamps were severe. So they weren't getting any calls the first half. And then it seemed
that's why they weren't winning. That's why they weren't winning.
But the Warriors had plenty of. They got really sloppy with the basketball in that second half, and they just started coughing it up, like.
Why does Tom get to drink? And how come I wasn't notified to have some whiskey here?
Someone donated a 50, and that's the thing on my channel. You donate a 50, I do a shot. So,
that is smart.
Are we all about to donate $50
if they asked for it? So
give it enough time. We're gonna have Tom Grossi.
Okay, so here's Tom Grossi. I have some. I need to because I don't know if you know this. I don't watch basketball. So we don't.
Okay, so from a non-basketball watcher's perspective.
So this is what I've heard. This is what I basically have heard. Okay, so I imagine it's LeBron versus Steph Curry. Right, I got that right. Okay, they're playing horse, and basically. They both have HORS, and the next basket sinks it and spells out horse. and LeBron was able to do that, and Steph Curry wasn't, which is why the Lakers won the game.
Basically, yes.
I just wanted to make sure that I had that down correctly.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Now, for all the non-basketball watchers out there as well, this was a very unique opportunity and situation because this was the first ever play-in game we have ever seen, play-in tournament. So we're going to try and put a football spin on this because that's what we do here. We are
what is the play-in? What does that mean?
So basically,
I don't understand it.
Normally NBA playoffs, top 8 teams, Western Conference, Eastern Conference. Boom. Easy, cut and dry. But for whatever reason, the NBA was like, let's change this up. Let's try something different. And so this year, if you were the 7th or 8th seed, you're getting bodied. They said you thought you were just going to go to the playoffs as the 7th or 8th seed. No, we're going to do a little tournament. And if you're the 10th seed, you can now have an opportunity to get in the playoffs. You just have to win 2 games in a row, and you're in the playoffs. What the heck? I would be mad as heck if I was a 7th or an 8th seed doing this tournament game.
Wait. I'm legitimately confused. All right, so originally, how many teams are going in from the NBA to the playoffs? What seeds is it going
1
to?
through 8.
1
on
through 8.
East,
okay.
And then the 1 through 8.
I got that. Yep, East and West. Got that. Okay, so 1 through 8. And so which one is that one taking? It's taking the 8th seed spot? Or
the 7th and the 8th seed are now up for grabs. 7th and 8th seed are up for grabs.
Oh.
And 9 or 10 can end up with the 7th or 8th seed. Is this right, chat? That's what we're trying to figure out.
One correction. 9 or 10 cannot go all the way to 7.
Yeah, 9 or 10 can get into 8.
Yes. The NBA has decided to make this the most confusing thing on earth. Basically, it's a play-in tournament, and whoever the top 2 winners of it get the 7th and the 8th seed. And the Lakers are confirmed in as the 7th, and they are probably the best 7th seed ever. They could legitimately win the championship because what they do is just coast through the regular season. They're like, all right, we'll just go in at the 8th seed. It doesn't matter. And then who else is on the East? Who's in?
I think it's Boston won, I believe, and now Boston it's between Washington and Indy.
Yeah.
For the 8th seed.
So now Steph Curry could possibly, if he loses again, could be out of the playoffs after an MVP year.
Yeah,
and the Wizards
is facing Memphis, so
not an MVP year, not even close.
What about Giannis? Yeah, Giannis is the MVP. Easy.
Steph's gonna win MVP this year.
Over Jokic?
He kidding
me?
The team on his back.
Guys,
kidding me?
Have you seen Michael Jordan play Space Jam? I mean, come on. He beat the Monstars, guys.
He saved the planet. Okay, no one has had more on the line than Michael Jordan.
Yeah, nobody. LeBron can make his little Space Jam too, but no. Let's
That's the reason why I went to LA. It's for that Hollywood money.
I saw Space Jam in the theater. That's how old I am.
I mean, I remember seeing it when it was out on video. I remember looking back on it, like when I was in college. I'm like,
oh, well, Scooter's got to get to his point that we just completely derailed. Right?
Oh no! So now that we know how it works, right? 9 and 10 might be able to get 7 or 8. The question is this fair? Great for fans. Like, this was literally one of the best games I've ever watched in my life. That's how good that game was. It's great for fans, but is this fair for the teams, the 7th and the 8th seed? And should the NFL implement this?
No.
NFL's already doing the 7th seed
they already
playoffs.
Which is already terrible.
Which, I mean, if they want to do like 7, 8, and then 9 and 10, and then have like a first round bye for everyone, I could see them doing that for the reason of money.
See, that's the thing. Or don't have the 17 regular games and replace that crap with what you're saying, and then I'd definitely be okay with that. Like you said, like have that first round bye.
They're more than likely going to have 18 games and 2 bye weeks than they are going to do whatever you suggest, Tom.
I feel like the top seeds in the NBA should be rewarded more than, like, you go through the whole season of winning and dominating to face the Lakers. You know, like Phoenix is mad, right? Like they get the Lakers who just tanked like the whole year, just coasted, and they were winning games. Like I think the top 2 seeds should get like a bye or something, or foot massages, some type of perk for finishing in the top 2. I think that making it on the bottom end is done. I like this playoffs. Just start 1 through 8 and let's go. Just go.
See, I think I would be okay with this if it were only for 8. Like if 8 and 9 played for 8, because it always comes to like a game or 2 with the NBA towards the end. So like 8, okay, let's do 8. Let's play for 8.
Yeah,
but
So-
7.
So
7?
That's what I'm asking. So right now the Lakers are 7.
Lakers are 7 now.
So who's 6?
6 would be not Dallas. It's
7, 8, 9.
Because that's what I was going to say. 6 is probably afraid of 7 because 7, 8, 9. So that's why
I know,
I
right?
got you, Perna. I got you.
That's what they call an assist in basketball.
Can I get a tell no
Portland,
one?
actually.
Did I just make a math joke? Because I have no idea what the fuck we're talking about yet.
See, I didn't do it
I've been
first. I didn't do it
so
first this time.
I've been so
I'm the
good
champion.
whole
I didn't
time.
do it first. I didn't do it. You need to be double punished, buddy.
Have you ever
Congratulations.
cussed? Hold on, before we get on to Tom, have you ever cussed in class accidentally? Like,
With like cool kids.
okay, only the cool kids.
Yo, cool kids, come out back with me.
Yeah,
We'll
some
drop
cool
some
kids.
swears around.
We'll smoke
Yeah.
some Marlboros and we'll cuss.
But we are talking about the NBA. Let's change it up a little bit. Let's get Brandon, Perna, and Tom in some of this action. We're going to switch it up, and we're going to talk about one of the highest drafted players. And we can mirror this for the NFL.
Yes, Perna.
But Kwame Brown. Okay, he's been in the news recently for some of his tirades, some of his rants, and I can't lie. He's been making a lot of good points. Has anyone been listening out of the 4 of you guys? Have you been observing?
A
Are
little
you
bit,
aware?
yes.
His sound bites, first of all, are amazing. I had no idea that he had so much personality. He was brought to the NBA way too early and just kind of never developed. He had some good games like in his career, but anyways, all the things that he says about Matt Barnes, I like completely agree with, because Matt Barnes seems like that type of guy that Kwame's talking about, and finally someone just came out and said it. So that's what I'm finding very interesting. I've never met Matt Barnes, I don't know, but from the outside in, that's the kind of guy he seems like, and Kwame is just shining a little light on.
You're
on
gonna
what
have
kind of guy
you're gonna
he is.
have to be more specific, because I know this. What
So
kind of guy
basically-
was Matt Barnes seem like?
Well,
What are we
basically,
insinuating
this
here?
is the situation.
Please
Okay, this is
explain
the
in
situation.
basketball terms.
Kwame Brown, number 1 pick, highest touted player, so much hype coming out of school, goes first overall.
Ryan Leaf
Yep.
got it.
Mhm.
Sucks it up
Mm.
terribly.
Mm.
Stephen A. Smith, you want to know where a bona fide scrub came from? That is the genesis, where he's talking about Kwame Brown. Roast him because he has small hands. He's the butt of all the jokes in the NBA. Finally, now, decades later, 10 years later, he comes out and he's not a little 18-year-old anymore. He's a grown man. He can defend himself.
Oh yeah.
And he is going off on Stephen A. Smith,
Yep, I saw that one.
on Matt Barnes.
What did he say about Barnes?
Called him soft and a faker and just backstabber, all these things that, the way he played, like, because Matt Barnes, he called him a wannabe tough guy, which is just pretty much describes how Matt Barnes played. Like, he would get in people's faces, but when pushing and shoving came, like, he'd always duck kind of behind like a bigger player.
So in like a hockey terms, he's Zdeno Chara.
yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Daniel,
Yeah, Tom totally gets that.
Yeah, that
Yes,
one.
he
okay,
absolutely
now-
gets that.
Now I can relate to
Now,
that.
if I were to
Got it.
talk like in a historical perspective, like maybe Tywin Lannister or
Okay.
Oh, well, see, actually, now that I actually
Tywin.
understand now. Okay.
So he's very
Tywin.
smart,
Yes.
tactician, and
My
he dies on
question-
the toilet.
Yeah,
by the hand
Tywin.
of
Yeah, I
his
mean,
own
like,
son.
he's pretty. I mean, he's pretty in there.
Spoiler? Are we just doing spoilers for all the people out here who have
Tyrion
not
Lannister
yet
sent
found
out
the
Tywin
room?
Lannister.
The show right on
Yeah,
the
The
toilet.
Thrones? Here's the
Shoots him right
question.
in the belly.
Who
Check.
is the Kwame Brown of the NFL? Who might we see in the future
Oh,
come out like this and
Oh.
clap back like we've never seen before?
But they
I
have
hope
to
it's
stop.
Jamarcus Russell.
Jamarcus Russell?
I hope it's Jamarcus Russell.
Imagine.
Jamarcus is too low key. I feel like he's more in the private eye.
Yeah, he clearly doesn't care about it.
But he does.
I know, like he does like
back.
charity work, but he does it like under the radar now. He's back in Alabama. I think he's at peace. Me personally, Richard Sherman.
Oh.
Yeah, but but maybe who's somebody that's been obscure and was like overhyped, and then all of a sudden because like Steve Smith is already Kwame Brown, right? Like Steve Smith Sr. has already been that guy, calling people out, calling people buttholes. Like,
are we just talking about? He was never like overhyped, but isn't that who Dan Orlovsky's turned into?
What if Joey Harrington just came out with sound bites, just clapping back at everyone that made fun of him for not being able to read the West Coast, understand the West Coast offense? You know, like what if he just came out with all these tirades? Like,
but
Brett Favre's kind of doing that.
Yes, he is.
Some of the
I was about to say that.
Among some of the points that Kwame Brown was making, he actually makes some very good points on amongst his tirade of cussing and roasting. He makes some really good points. He says, one, Stephen A. Smith, I'm a black man and you're a black man. Why are you tearing me down? Right? You already know we go through enough being black men, but you get on TV and you're tearing down another black man. Right? That's what he's saying. That's a good point.
That's hard to argue.
And then another point is he's talking about the basketball players, Steven Jackson, Matt Barnes. He's saying, you guys have your own podcast. We're supposed to be a fraternity. Anyone who makes it into the NBA is a brother. We're supposed to be brothers. So you elevate yourself, you get to a position of power, and you use that to just dunk on other basketball players? That's weird. That's weird behavior.
He is like a guru, a socially aware guru making some nice commentary on all of the shit talking that gets everybody more clicks.
Yes,
including Stephen A.
Wrong
Right?
with some good clicks, man.
Click. I think. Listen,
Thank you, Perna.
Kwame Brown is just a reminder that clickbait does come at a cost. But let's transition now. Let's actually get to some more football news. We'll start with Tim Tebow officially being signed to Brandon's Broncos. Brandon, your thoughts? It's official now.
Well, he wasn't signed to the Broncos. He was signed to the
Jaguars.
I'm sorry.
He'll be a future Bronco, though.
He was a Broncos. He was now signed to the Jaguars. Urban Meyer connection, bringing it full circle.
Honestly, I'm back at the point where I'm ready for Tim Tebow's season at quarterback. I think I would accept that as a Broncos fan. Tebow, interestingly, once lost 3 straight games to get into the playoffs. So if the NFL can figure out how to get more teams who lose 3 straight and then into the playoffs and then beat the Steelers, beat the Steelers like he did, that would be an interesting scenario I'm open to. I just put a video up today about Tim Tebow, another guy getting a ton of hate, I feel like, for no real reason. He's getting a chance to play tight end, a 3rd string tight end, maybe, and just maybe Tim Tebow might be okay as your 3rd string tight end. Like,
okay, so we've got a lot to dive into about this tree. What were you going to say?
Well, here's the thing you have to understand. It's not about what you do and how you're good at or anything. It's who you know.
Oh, yeah.
Urban Meyer knew Tim Tebow back when he was in Florida. So guess who's going to give him a shot when he retires from baseball? I know, like, 5 is ogling him because how big he was in baseball. He could probably still play tight end right now. He's going to give him that shot. He's probably a training camp body. If he doesn't work out, they'll probably cut him. That, or they're using him to sell tickets, which I thought they would do like a long time ago. When he was a free agent from the Jets, I figured they'd bring him in to get the Florida crowd to Jacksonville for their games.
So Tebow for the last 5 years has been a ticket draw. He's just cashing in on his name.
Well, basically. I thought he was
only with the Mets. Go ahead.
I thought he was going to be called up to the Mets eventually just to sell seats.
Yeah, well, the Mets probably told him, hey, look, we're good again, so we don't need you. That's probably what they said.
That too.
And we can't even open at full capacity.
If you can have some guy on your roster that you don't even have to play, and he's going to get people to the game, like, to me, that's a genius move by the Jaguars. Exactly. Like, hey, people love him, especially here in Jacksonville. Maybe we can get him a pass a game, 2 passes, but like some third string tight end you've never heard of, that guy's going to bring you 0 extra revenue.
How much? Okay.
I think it's smart.
How big of a national holiday will it be in Florida if Tim Tebow throws a touchdown pass in the 2021-2022 NFL season?
You know what I'm thinking I could realistically see happening with Tebow this season? I could realistically see a Philly special with Tebow throwing it happening easily. I could see it. Can you see it? Because I can't. I'm just saying. My bad.
I want to see how rusty. Like, I think that Brandon's right. Like, who is going to watch the first preseason game with the Jaguars simply to see what Tim Tebow does when he like as soon as he checks in the game, like their ratings are gonna skyrocket because they're like, and here he is, the young Tim Tebow, number 85, wearing 85 in honor of his ex-teammate Aaron Hernandez at Florida.
Little too far, buddy.
I just want to say what I said was not as bad as that. So I'm off the hook now, and I'm good.
Can we get some F's in the chat, please? F's in the chat. Please.
I'm good.
Sorry, I've been.
Well, let's bring it back here. Let's bring it back here.
In reading Barry's timeline, I couldn't.
Let's bring it back though, because
next we're going to talk about James Harden's man boobs.
If you were on Twitter and on the timeline when this happened with Tebow, a lot of people were actually upset when he was signed. Dez Bryant being one of them. If you saw what Dez tweeted, he was like, I've been grinding in the off season. And then this dude who's been out of the sport for however long just comes and just gets a... Tom, what do you have to say about this?
Yeah, so to your point, because that's kind of like what we were talking about in our pre-production meeting. When I brought this up, that like people were pissed about that, right? Tebow hasn't played in like so amount of time, and like he's getting these opportunities because of these connections, blah, 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 blah. I saw a counterpoint on this that I kind of agreed with at the same time, even though I do see both perspectives. But like, if you can't beat out a guy who hasn't played football in X amount of years, who was a quarterback and is now transitioning to tight end, and you can't beat him out as a prospective NFL player to get on the roster, like, I kind of get like that's on you.
But I think the problem there is that they're not getting beat out. They're better than Tebow, but Tebow brings in more sales. I think that's what people.
But that's the thing, though. Like he hasn't made the active roster yet, right? They signed him, and
they just signed him
to get cut in camp. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're let's just say, because like Dez is not a tight end, so we're not talking about that. If I'm saying like if you're a tight end who's trying to get on the roster for the number 3 string, then like that's your job to do that. Now, I completely understand if the Jaguars are like, listen, we're trying to make a whole bunch of money, so we're gonna throw Tebow out there like once a game. Then listen, like I get the criticism, but at the same time, like if we're looking at the NFL as a business as it is, like I get it. While the Jaguars are doing, I think it takes away from the competition of the game. But I mean, like it is what it is, kind of thing.
5 points.
I appreciate the hand raising, by the way.
Yes. How bad does Tim Tebow have to be to not make the roster? Like, does he have to fall down on every snap and like completely whiff on each block, and then have the ball hit him in the face like stone hands from Necessary Roughness? How bad does he have to be? Because I would bet a large sum of money that he makes the 53-man roster. I would think he has to catch. It's a lock.
It's not about how bad he is. It's how he pees off Urban Meyer. If he pees in his Wheaties, he's gone the first chance he gets.
They're best friends.
But if he's like taking in his newspaper, massaging his feet, giving him a back rub every once in a while, maybe make some breakfast, maybe a nice continental breakfast, maybe not something continental. Maybe like scrambled eggs, bacon, sausage, he'll make the team.
That's a good point there, because Tebow is clearly willing to do anything to be on a football field.
Except be a good football player. Anything. Right. We're trying to keep this PG.
Tebow is a good football player. He just was never a good quarterback. He's 3 years older than Taysom Hill, and I think he can actually be used like Taysom Hill right now. And to Dez Bryant's defense, to Des Bryant's defense, a third of his catches for the Ravens last year, 1/3 of his catches were touchdowns. So I get he had 6 catches for 2 TDs. So maybe Des Bryant, one of the disgruntled players who actually has something to be upset about, because I think, unlike Kelvin Benjamin, also tight end now, Des probably has more gas left in the tank.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that Kelvin Benjamin's in with the Giants. Okay,
let's speak on that.
I should have had.
I don't even know why you drafted Kadarius Toney if you're going to get Kelvin Benjamin. I mean, honestly.
So how do you feel about Kelvin Benjamin coming back, Adam?
When he came out of Florida State, I wanted the Giants to draft him.
Oh yeah,
that
he was
year.
a stud coming out of FSU.
He was good the first couple years.
Simply because he's he was at the time the prototypical Eli Manning receiver.
He was like
big,
6'8"
and could out jump anyone. And Manning, as I've said before on this show, Eli used to float balls high, and Plaxico Burress would climb the ladder and bail him out. So I wanted Benjamin on this team. Now, 9 some odd years later, he is on the team. And if he can contribute, we've had trouble at tight end. We got Kyle Rudolph in there, Evan Ingram. He could probably learn a thing about dropping passes from Evan Ingram, and he could be a welcome addition. He's a football veteran. He's been around the locker room. And one thing I do want to rewind is if Tebow makes the roster, I think he gets a pension as well. So
he does.
would be
he's
set
1 year
for
away.
life. So a lot is at stake for Tebow. I think he will be giving out foot rubs to Urban Meyer.
Tebow deserves a pension.
We see what's going on here.
You
We're
waited
just trying
9
to get
years
our
for
boy
Kelvin Benjamin?
that pension. Okay, I'm fair. I'm okay with that too. Hey, get him the pension.
That's
Get him
probably
the pension.
when Broncos fans will finally get Aaron Rodgers 9 years from now.
Also, I want to reset one thing. No other player was as overhyped when Tim Tebow was a Bronco. He had his own NFL Network top 10 Tebow moments, right?
Accurate.
His top 10 Tebow. Like, I cannot think of 10 Tebow. The only highlight of Tim Tebow in the NFL that I can think of is him throwing a wobbly pass to Demaryius Thomas,
and he ran with it for like
right to the
That pass
house.
was a dart. It was a
Other
frozen
than that,
rope.
it was him tapping Matt Prater on the back and saying, "Please go out and hit a 63-yarder."
Yeah,
There's some highlights from Tebow's season.
Oh, yeah. No,
Yeah,
the
he's got a
number one
couple.
highlight
Every
from Tim Tebow's season was Ike Taylor, because that dude put on the worst defensive performance of the millennium, and I will still swear by that. All they did was go up, throw like a lofter to Demaryius Thomas, and he came with it every single time.
Ike
That's
Taylor,
how that game went.
one of my all-time favorite Broncos.
Yeah, I mean, he was incredibly underrated in this time, but in that game, he was bad.
Hot garbage.
Okay, we're gonna keep the news on NFL news.
Oh God! Breaking news! Hold on! Breaking news!
Oh, here we go.
The Broncos have waived Case Cookus.
No!
The Broncos waived Case Cookus.
Didn't even get a chance.
He was my hope.
Ain't that a pain in the tuchus?
We get some
my
more F's
God.
in the chat.
Every quarterback I start to love is gone.
That is
Minshew,
pretty-
never
that's
going to happen. Rodgers,
literally
probably not going to happen. And I
This
had
is
Case
the
Cookus.
worst news, and I say that unironically.
You hate to see it.
It's just
Tim
worse than
Tebow's going to
finding
have a
out that
job, and
Randy
Case
Brothers got
Cookus is
shut down
going
in Florida.
hungry.
Okay, but we are gonna keep the news here on NFL news. Rumor. Okay, I need you guys to tell me what you think of this rumor. Would this be good for both sides? We've already seen that the Falcons have drafted Kyle Pitts, unfortunately for me and the Dallas Cowboys fans.
Okay.
This means Julio Jones might be expensible now. And so rumor has it they have been shopping Julio Jones, just seeing what's out there for him. I'm on NFL rumors right now. NFL Rums, at NFL Rums. Titans, Derrick Henry wants the team to trade for Falcons Julio Jones. Would this be a good fit?
What are you going to have to give for him, though? Because I know the price is going to be high. They're going to want like 2 second-rounders, a first-rounder. They're going to want some futures.
You really think for Julio Jones, an aging receiver?
My issue isn't with the trade return. My issue is with his contract, because he is owed a $23 million cap hit. this year. He has a $19 million cap hit next year with a $17.5 million dead cap if they cut him. So they're not going to be able to do anything for the next 2 years. This is a 2-year investment if you're trading for Julio Jones.
So you're saying it might be something where teams might just the Falcons might just trade him just to get him off the books. They might not even be looking for such a large haul.
Yeah, like, I mean, if they're going to trade him, it'll probably be after June 1st. So they have less of a dead cap.
Falcons
he could have a terrible year. Receivers age like milk. Yeah. Like they just go downhill pretty quickly.
It depends on injuries too. AJ Green last year, he did not look good. But that was also because of injuries.
Legends, the last couple years. So sad to watch.
And now he's going to the retirement home in Arizona.
I think Julio will be all right. I think today I talked about this in the episode. It's Thomas Dimitroff really got off easy here. He put the Falcons in this horrible financial mess, and then the Falcons fired him. And now new GM Terry Fontenot is like trying to have to figure out all of this really complicated stuff because I read like they restructured Matt Ryan, but his cap hit for next season is now $48 million. If they cut him, it's like $40 million in dead money. So, and they also don't have enough money to pay their rookies they just drafted. And that's like the real reason they have to move Julio is because they don't have enough money set aside to pay the cheapest players on the roster. So, to me, Thomas is the real winner here because he got to get out of town when the work was about to get really, really hard.
Yeah. I've pulled up a list of potential teams for Julio Jones to go to.
Go to Pittsburgh.
Let's see which team makes the most sense. You guys help me out with this.
That's good.
We begin with the Green Bay Packers.
Don't even say it. Nope, we can't afford
Green Bay Packers. Nope, if the goal is, this is a CBS Sports article. If the goal is to make Aaron Rodgers content enough with the organization, blah, 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 we'll bring in Julio Jones. Tom, what are we thinking? Julio Jones? Green Bay Packers?
Fiscally impossible. No, Ken Ingalls, who's the guy I follow. I've had him on the show a whole bunch of times. He like really dives deep into the Packers cap. Right now, if we wanted to, we could sign Julio Jones for 2 quarters of one game. That is 100% accurate.
They have $3 million in cap space.
Now, again, if it was for the NFC Championship game, like the later half, then I would say maybe we do a little talking, but that's after the trade deadline, so that's a little problematic.
Pay him for the second half of the championship game?
Yeah, that'd be great.
That's just one quarter.
Time.
Fourth quarter, we need you to go up and catch this.
That's what we need.
Can you do this?
I mean, honestly, the thing with the Packers is, I know we just got Amari Rodgers, but the Packers need to get younger at receiver. Because after this year, besides Amari Rodgers, who we just drafted, there's no other wide receivers who are expected to be on the roster or because all their contracts are up. So like Devontae Adams, he's up in the air because who knows what's going on with Rodgers. MVS, Equinemius St. Brown, they're all free agents. Devin Funchess, he's a free agent. So like, the Packers... Devin Funchess? Yeah, he signed a 2-year deal and sat out last year because of COVID. So he's still going to be playing this year. He took a pay cut to play. So, no, I'd love to get Julio, but 1, he's aging. 2, we couldn't afford him even if we wanted to. And 3, I will never forgive the Denver Broncos for cutting Case Cookus. I already hated the Giants for doing it because the Giants did it first. You broke his heart first. Don't sit there. You know you did it. And now the Broncos did it. So now both of you. Done.
For Case Cookus.
So Julio might not be going to the Packers, but what are we feeling about the San Francisco 49ers? The 49ers already have one of the most electric skill position groups in the league with George Kittle flanked by Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk. But adding Jones, who has played for Shanahan before, would take this group to another level. What do we think? Trey Lance and Julio?
Does San Fran have the resources to give up? They traded their 2 first-round picks to move up to get Trey Lance.
What if he's on fire sale? What if they just put Julio out by the curb and say free or best offer? You know,
so they're saying the Niners could even cut Garoppolo to create even more.
That's what
space.
I saw. Yeah.
So, are we thinking this is likely?
No.
Chat. What are we thinking?
No.
I don't think they have the draft capital that the Falcons are going to want because I still think a first is going to be in the deal.
Yeah, I don't see a first.
I think it's at least 1.
No, maybe a second. Want a first, still, even a second is a pretty big price.
Yeah, Julio's 32. Julio is 32 and has massive hits on it the next 2 years. So
Yeah, I don't think that's the 49ers game then.
Yeah.
That'd be like
Got
something
that.
like he signs with the Texans just to make that organization even worse. And then like Deshaun Watson still doesn't come back, so they have Jeff Driscoll throwing to him.
So
No, they're having Tyrod Taylor throw to him. Remember that, man?
No, I forgot. But didn't they just sign Driscoll?
Yeah, they did sign Driscoll.
It's all right.
They
So
have,
someone's going to try to
Driscoll, they have the
assassinate
rookie
Tyrod
they
Taylor by
drafted.
poking him with a needle again this season.
Yeah.
And Driscoll's
And
going to
if-
get the call up.
If the Texans stab Tyrod Taylor in the lungs with a needle, Jack Easterby's going to try to heal him with holy water, and it's going to be very bad. And holy water only. Tyrod, this
That's
is
it.
the medical
No
stab.
antibiotics.
Yeah.
So Julio's not going to the Packers. Julio's
No.
not going to the 49ers.
No.
What about the Patriots? No team has overhauled their pass catching
I
core this
hope so.
offseason more than the Patriots,
I hope so.
Ooh.
Desperate Bill.
including Nelson Aguilar and Mohamed Sanu. Adding
And
Jones to go a
Andre
long
Henry
way.
and Jonnu Smith.
Exactly. And they got Mac Jones. Would this be a target, Mac Jones? Just a body. Just throw it up for Mac Jones. Go up and get it. He's used to these targets at Alabama. Didn't Julio go
would
to
love
Alabama?
that. I would love to see that.
That would be interesting. I wonder if N'Keal Harry goes the other way just as a body
Yup.
because he has disappointed.
Yup. He's had injury issues too, but yeah, I mean, I remember him coming out of the first, and I was like, "Ooh, he's gonna be dangerous on
Yeah.
there." And then,
And then he did nothing.
So we're thinking if Julio goes anywhere, it's going to be Packers first.
Patriots.
The other ones have the Chargers, Colts, and Titans as options for him landing.
Colts
Titans
would maybe
make sense.
Colts would be
Colts would
interesting
be interesting.
because of
Colts, you got
Chargers,
Carson
they
Wentz
already
there.
have Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. That's not going to work. And what was the third team you said again?
So they got the Chargers,
Titans.
Titans.
Colts, and Titans with
Colts
Derrick
have the
Henry.
most money.
Colts do have money.
The
And
Jags, Jags have the most cap space right now. I want to just go to Jacksonville, Julio.
Chat, let us know. Where do you think Julio Jones will be playing? And it can be the Falcons. Let us
Yeah,
know. Leave a comment.
The Titans don't have a lot of cap space. The Packers don't.
We have $8.
The Bears and they're minus $1.2 million in cap.
Patriots, Chargers, Colts. Those are the top three with cap space of teams that he's been linked to. So I'd bet on those three based on the fact that they can afford him.
What about the Cleveland Browns?
Oh, that would be interesting.
That would
Although,
be
I mean, they do
very-
have OBJ.
They got the money.
Like, hey, between
but
Julio and
Julio's a
OBJ,
free.
they'll play a total of 3 games. So I think, I think
You can split that up and maximize their efficiency. So you
100%.
know what? That works out.
13 touchdowns in 3 games by the two.
But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap it up for this week's session of Clickbait Sports. A little bit shorter today, but only because there's not that much news to talk about.
In case
We
Cook
will
gets
be
cut.
back next week
With 2
with
hours
a
on Case Cookies.
hard-hitting, great show for you guys. And you can tweet us, tweet any of us, for any suggestions you want to see on next week's episode. But before we get out, we're going to go around. We're going to add up all the chats.
This could be a problem.
See who was the winner, who actually is the loser for today. And we're also going to say what we have coming out and when you can expect that. Starting with Tom Grassi.
Yeah, it's gonna be a problem. I was thinking about putting out a video today. I don't know if I'm gonna. We'll see. I mean, I have the stream, so it still counts. If it is, it's gonna be the NFC South predictions. We'll see. I made $188, so I'm feeling
very nice.
it's gonna hurt.
Very nice.
It's gonna hurt.
Time to win again, buddy.
Yeah.
Put on the plunger.
I made
That
10.
good sports. What's going
Made
on
10.
over there?
What?
10/29. Well, that's actually my birthday, so maybe that's the luck.
It is luck, man.
Okay, what do you have coming out next
You just
on
put out
That Good Sports on YouTube.com/ThatGoodSports? What can we expect?
You should go watch my Tim Tebow episode that I put up today, where I defend Tim Tebow when nobody else had the balls to do it themselves.
Wow, I'm gonna have to.
I
give
stood
that a
up
watch.
for a man who needs nobody to stand up for him.
So
Question.
brave.
Just question. What is the sentiment of Tim Tebow for Broncos fans? Like, do you like him?
mixed.
Okay. Just
People
wondering.
either love him too much or they hate him too much.
That's fair.
I try to respect what he did for us, but it was the hardest football I have ever had to watch in my life.
That's fair.
And then the most rewarding. So
there you have it.
I have a perfect analogy for it, but I can't repeat it here because it's way too dirty. So
that's
I mean, we've gone pretty dark already. In this episode, but
very dark.
Yes.
Very dark. Yes. But we're going to transition to Tree, urinating Tree. What do we have on the pipeline? How many super chats? What's going on here?
Well, I've just come back from a much relaxing vacation in New England. It was a glorious time, fantastic time. I wish it didn't end, but besides watching the NFL playoffs, they've been absolutely outstanding. You should watch them, by the way. I am beginning the editing process on a video recapping the Oilers last year in Houston and their first couple of years in Tennessee. And if you ever look it up, it's a bit of a soap opera. It's a mess. And I made 40-29.
Nice.
So, Tom, you're beating me again.
Still in the lead.
Congratulations.
We go to Scooter McJr., 5 points. What's coming in the pipeline? How many people donated? What's going on? Oh, you're muted? You are muted. Double tap.
Sorry, I made $3.62, so I'm definitely not winning this time. Unless someone wants to drop 200 on me in the waning seconds. If they want a LeBron and just shut that thing up and then look at me. Yep, to swag them. Anyways,
what do we have coming on the pipeline on 5 points?
So Tree is working on the Oilers' last few seasons. I'm working on an Oilers vid too, which should go up after this video, called 35-3 from the Oilers' perspective. A video only taking how they witnessed and watched the most epic collapse in the history of the NFL.
Okay, so we got a bit of a rivalry here on a series rivalry.
Someone just put in $125. Alex Rose. Took me up to 128.62.
That's still not enough.
Yeah, I got 188.31.
We're still safe. We're gonna have to end this soon.
And
finally, me last.
F you three. Come on.
Last but not least, myself. The Michael Gallup podcast will be out next week. We are 90% done. I just have to cut it up.
You had a month ago, Scooter. Like, come on now, buddy.
Bro, it's the hardest edit of my life. The hardest of my life. We're almost there, though. It will come out next week, like Monday. Okay? And I also got $5 Twitch Prime subscription from Elijah. So I'm safe. Tom, let us decide your punishment again. I think, what is this? The third week?
It would have been 4 in a row if it wasn't for a lob last week.
You see, Tomunism works, people. It is working.
Another week I don't have to listen to Le'Veon Bell's rap album.
Thank you, Mad Marcus. Appreciate that.
Hold on.
So put it in now.
25,000.
Yeah, but what is that? What's the conversion? That's $40.
So if you're just joining, we are tallying all the chats.
But I got a $5 one too, so I'm up to $193.31.
The way it works is the person who gets donated the most money is the loser and must use that money to buy something we collectively decide.
Yes.
So we're just determining what the heck a CRC is, trying to convert that,
but
adding up the total.
I just got 20. I'm at 189.14.
Yes. Oh no, I'm at 193 still because someone just gave me $5.
Get 5 points the punishment.
We've been live for 48 minutes. We're going to give this till 50 minutes.
Red Rhino. That's done. It's
Red Rhino saves Tom Grassi.
Thank God. Yes.
So we have 60 seconds to decide Adam's punishment. Chat. Please help us decide this.
Yeah. Oh, and Alex then donated another 20.
And then Holly Winchell donated 10. So
if it keeps up like this, you both will be punished. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Communism runs deep, Holly. Thank you.
All right, figure it out, guys.
All right, so what are you at now? 5.
274.
Oh, perfect. I'm at
Nice.
198. All right, so we're
Dang, that
Okay.
was a swing.
Very nice.
So-
that went from 3 to 2 over.
So we're calling it right now. 5 points. Scooter McJr. is the winner for this week. What shall his punishment be? Personally, I was a huge fan of the profile change on Twitter. That was just me. I loved seeing that Aaron Rodgers profile picture on Tom's page in a Broncos jersey. That was
nice.
that was maybe we should do a Dak Prescott profile picture. What are we? No.
It's a little out there. I
A
mean, you
little
can go something a little deeper, I feel like.
I know.
James Dolan pick.
No, that doesn't hurt. No, that doesn't hurt. I see a couple suggestions in the chat that are hurting my soul right now.
Oh,
Let's see what we got.
Let me go over there.
I see Tom Wilson jersey. Ooh.
That would literally make me puke if I have
Okay.
to order a Tom Wilson
There it is.
jersey.
There it is.
Tom Wilson
We are
jersey.
told
And you
Tom
have
Wilson
to do this.
jersey.
Have to do this every time you do it. Yep. T-pose a do, mother.
Absolutely.
I almost did it too. Jeez.
Well,
All
guys,
right, Tom Wilson jersey it is. Gosh, that is the worst thing I can think of.
thank you guys for stopping by yet another episode
This is
of
something.
Clickbait Sports. We'll see you back next Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern.
Communism forever.